Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Deku was saved by All Might and gains the powers of the gamer movie. So before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, lightntail. Link is in the description. Also subscribe to our channel and like this video. So let's begin the video. Izuku Midoriya was so excited to even be able to sleep. Why are you asking? Tomorrow he was going to be trained by the #1 hero All Might. He kept on thinking about just how All Might was going to train him. He would probably do a lot of strength training to help get him strong enough to wield one for All Might's quirk, which is going to be passed down to him. I should probably stop thinking so hard about this and get some sleep. I am going to need it when I start training, said Izuku. It took him a while, but he finally managed to go to sleep, unaware of any cosmic forces at work. Line break. Congratulations. After many years your quirk has finally manifested, giving you the powers of the gamer. Would you like to view the tutorial? Izuku looked at the blue screen that hovered in front of him as he woke up. Confused, he wondered if someone was trying to play a prank on him for being quirkless. Deciding to go along with this, he pressed yes, and the screen disappeared. However, a new screen took its place. Great. To start, please go to your status screen. And before you ask, no, this is not a prank, this is real. Izuku's eyes widened at that last line. If this wasn't a prank, then what was this? Was this his quirk? After so many years, did his quirk finally manifest? And how was he supposed to get to his status screen? Did he need to say it out loud? Did he need to think about it? Status at Izuku. Izuku Midoriya. Level 3. HP, 100 100s. MP, 300 300s. SP, 100 100s. STR 10. STM 10. X 13. Bit 10. And 30. Was 30. Another blue screen popped up showing Izuku's stats. The first thing that he noticed was that his int and WIS was abnormally high. Was it because of all the research that he did on heroes? Or the fact that he could tell how someone's quirk worked after seeing it just once? Of course he did a lot of studying in order to do that, but it was well worth it. For your deep thinking you got +1 WIS. Really? I can get bonus stats for doing tasks. I have a feeling that I will be able to abuse the heck out of this, said Izuku. This is your start screen, which shows you what level you are, as well as how strong you are in given areas. STR is how strong you are, allowing you to unleash devastating blows to your opponents. STM is short for stamina, which allows you to use more physical techniques and allows you to keep fighting or training for long periods of time. X stands for dexterity. This allows you to dodge better and improves your accuracy. It stands for vitality, which increases your max health and defense, allowing you to take devastating attacks. Int is your intelligence. This increases your ability to process information, gives you more MP, and increases your magic attack power. WIS makes your mind sharper, allowing you to make plans quickly and efficiently on the battlefield. This also increases your MP recovery rate. You can increase the stats by training or by using stat points that you get every level. Every time you level you gain 5 stat points. Occasionally you may get a buff to some of your stats, which improves their effectiveness. Now then, let's move on to skills, shall we? Alright then, said Izuku. Suddenly a question popped into his head. Wait, why am I so calm about all this? Skills. Aimer's Mind. Level max, passive. This skill allows one to keep calm in all situations and keeps you from experiencing any problems that would require you to go to a therapist. Aimer's Body. Level max, passive. This skill allows one to live like they are in a video game. Observe. Level 30, active. This skill allows for instant information on the object it is used on. However, if someone's level is too high, you will not be able to see their stats. Oh, so that's why I am so calm in this situation. This skill helps keep me calm, no matter the situation. This could really come in handy in almost all circumstances, said Izuku. Skills may start off small, but grow much stronger the more you use them. Well, that's understandable. Ping. Quest received. Objective. Get yourself ready and get to the beach before 7. Completion award. 100x, improved relations with All Might. Completion failure. 10x, slightly reduced relations with All Might, a lecture on being late. Oh, that's right, I have to meet All Might today. I wonder how he will take this, said Izuku before he started to get ready. Line break. After rushing to get ready, Izuku ran to go meet All Might at the beach. As he ran to the beach, he noticed he gained 2 points in STM. After noticing this, he felt like he could run a little longer than before. So I can increase my stats by training. That would explain why my int and WIS stats are so high compared to my other stats, said Izuku thoughtfully as he slowed down to refill his stamina. When he reached the beach, he saw All Might in his powered down form next to a large pile of trash. Ah, there you are, you came a bit earlier than I expected. You must be really want to become a hero. said Toshinori. Yeah, being a hero has been my lifelong dream, said Izuku. Also something really weird happened this morning and I wanted to ask you about it. And what would that be? I think I may have unlocked my quirk. Toshinori's eyes widened at this. A kid unlocking his quirk at 14. Almost everyone unlocks their quirk when they are about 4 years old. But there have been some very rare cases where people unlock their quirks later in life, and those people had pretty powerful quirks as well. Well then, what is your new quirk? Said Toshinori. I believe it allows me to live my life like a video game. I have a stat screen and everything, though I still need to complete the tutorial. Does it make your life like a video game? Well then you better complete the tutorial, so then we know what to do. Alright then. Izuku then looked at the screens floating near him. Objective complete. Objective. Get yourself ready and get to the beach before 7. Completion award. 100x, improved relations with All Might. Congratulations, you completed your first quest. We are sorry we didn't have enough time to complete the tutorial before you got your first quest, but we are all short on time, so let's move on to reputations. By doing quests for people or by helping someone you can improve relations with someone. This can offer some bonuses, especially when paired with a leadership skill. Abhorred. These people hate you and will be very resistant to working with you. This gives minus 40% teamwork bonus and minus 20% stats when paired with these people. Unfriendly. These people will work with you if they must, but would rather pair with someone else. This gives minus 20% teamwork bonus and minus 10% stats with paired with these people. Disliked. These people are not too vocal about their dislike of you and would pair with you for max gain, but will not be overly happy about it. Minus 10% teamwork bonus and minus 5% stats when paired. Neutral. Completely neutral. What do you expect? Liked. You can work well with these people as they put some trust into your judgment. Plus 10% teamwork bonus and plus 5% stats when paired. Honored. These people can be considered best friends and they will stick by your side and help you anytime. Plus 20% teamwork bonus and plus 10% stats when paired. Exalted. These people adore you and would rather die than let any harm come to you. Plus 40% teamwork bonus and plus 20% stats when paired. Getting a good reputation is essential for being a hero. So do your best to improve your reputation with others. Now that we are done here, let's move on to everyone's favorite area besides awesome skills, getting stronger. I wonder what my reputation is with everyone. They both thought. You will notice that Bit, Int and STM only give 10 points to your HP, MP and SP in that order. However, you can improve this by using up the points in your gauges. Wait, really? That is going to make training so much better and easier. But what does it mean by using up my points? Said Izuku. Maybe by using all your stamina it will increase your maximum amount of stamina by a small percentage. Said Toshinori. Using 50 MP increases your max MP by 1. Using 35 SP increases your max SP by 1. Losing 20 HP increases your max HP by 1. Guess I was right about that. Gosh dang kid, your power is completely broken. And what's this about MP? Isn't that supposed to be magic? Asked Toshinori. MP stands for mana points. In games it allows you to use powerful magic skills. Speaking of which, I don't know how to use magic. Maybe this will give me a skill book as well, said Izuku hopefully. Speaking of which, you don't seem to have any magic skills. Open your inventory, there should be a book that will give you some basic magic skills. After that, it's up to you to make more. However, you can be taught some skills and use skill books to get skills as well. Alright then, inventory. Said Izuku. Another blue screen appeared showing his inventory. In it there was a single book labeled Magic for Beginners. Izuku pulled it out and another window appeared. You have obtained the skill book. Basic Magic. Do you wish to use this skill book? Warning, the skill book will be deleted afterwards. Izuku pressed yes. The book glowed before dissolving into golden particles which then floated into him. A headache sprung forth from the knowledge being put into his head. As quick as it came, it suddenly left, as if it never happened at all. Several windows then popped up in front of Izuku and he read them all aloud. So all might know what they said. Mana Bolt, active, level 1, 0.00% XP, cost 20 MP. A burst of mana from your palm for a mid to long range attack. Damage 10 to 15. Basic healing, active, level 1, 0.00% XP, cost 50 MP per sec. The basic healing spell to heal minor wounds. Heals 10 HP and 10 SP per sec, heals low level status effects. Mana Shield, active, level 1, 0.00% XP, cost 30 MP per sec. The basic shielding spell which can defend against attacks. Higher levels can absorb a small amount of energy from an attack. Defense. 15. Absorption. 0.01%. Well now young Midoriya, those will be some pretty powerful spells once you level them up. Maybe they might even evolve into an even stronger type of spell, said All Might. Yeah, and maybe I can learn other abilities or even copy the abilities of other heroes, said Izuku. Yes, but don't go crazy with it. If someone hears about this power they may try and stop you before you get too powerful, and you don't want to fall to the dark side either, so don't go crazy with copying other people's powers. Izuku dismissed all the current screens, but then another one showed up. That should do it for the tutorial. If you need any more help then just go to your menu and select help. Well then, now that we have finished with the tutorials, let's get on to training. We need to get you ready within 10 months for the entrance exam. So are you ready? Asked All Might. Yes sir I am. Then let's get started. Line break. Izuku was currently trying to pull a fridge with All Might on top of it. Izuku fell as he used up almost all his stamina. Hey now come on, we need to get you ready for the entrance exam, said All Might from atop the fridge. You could at least get off of it. You weigh around 265 pounds. And my stamina is almost all used up as well, said Izuku as he pulled up his stats, noticing that his STR went up by 2. Izuku Midoriya. Level 3, 20.5% exp. HP 100 100s, regen 0.34%. MP 300 300s, regen 1%. SP 0 102, regen 0.34%. STR 12. Bit 10. X 14. STM 10. In 30. Wisconsin 30. Luck. 17. What about that healing spell? You could use it to heal your stamina back a little, right? And let's not forget using your mana will slowly increase your reserves and you will level up your spell slowly but surely, said All Might before he took a picture of Izuku. Besides, we need to get your body ready to be able to handle one for all, otherwise your limbs would shoot off. Seriously, Izuku screamed in fear before sighing and letting the gamer's mind kick in before an idea came to mind. Wait a second, no quirk that I know of can do that, and you also said that it has been passed down from user to user. Making it stronger every time it's passed down, right? Yeah it is, said All Might. He was about to continue talking when Izuku started muttering again. Then that means that it builds up energy from the user to gain power, meaning it's a stockpile quirk, but that would mean that you would run out of power quickly unless you have hit the critical threshold. And stockpile quirks have a small amount of interest, allowing it to keep building more energy, which means it generates more energy than you take out. Using the max amount of energy one's body can handle will always mean breaking, causing some kind of damage, unless one uses a little less than their max or has a quirk that would allow for maximum flowing of energy without breaking their bones. Izuku muttered. All Might was close enough at that time that he heard everything and he was shocked at how Izuku broke down how one for all works so quickly. Wow, and here I thought I would have to explain the quirk, but you figured it out on your own. But in all honesty you really need to stop muttering to kids, doing that could possibly tell your opponent your plan and allow them to adjust. Right, sorry, I will try to work on that, Izuku said as he used his only healing spell to refill his stamina points. Basic healing leveled up by 1. Basic healing, active, level 2 12.42% exp, cost 50 MP per second. The basic healing spell to heal minor wounds. Heals 11 HP and 11 SP, heals low-level status effects. MP, 0306. SP, 6100 seconds. Alright, time to get back to training. He continued this pattern for the rest of the day, earning him a net of 5 STR 3 VIT and 4 STM. He also gained 3 levels to his healing. When he got to his bed a new window opened up. A system update has been added, do you wish to update? Izuku looked at the screen wondering what updates it would give him. However, updates take time to install, so updating while he was asleep was the best idea. That would explain why it waited until now to notify him. He pressed yes before going to sleep. He woke up to several screens in his face. System update complete. Items added. Classes. All RPGs have classes, and this one is no different. Look at the classes menu to look at the different classes you can choose from. However, you can only choose one, and you can't change it later, so choose wisely. Perks and flaws. Perks help increase someone's stats as they level up or increase the experience for skills. Flaws are the exact opposite and can decrease one's current stats by a percentage. Injuries and illnesses can be slowly removed via healing someone, but it takes a lot of time and mana to do this. Titles. Titles can give various effects for certain stats. X-Wizard. Grants plus 50% MPR, plus 20% ease of casting, plus 50% XP gain for spells. Izuku seemed particularly interested in the class system. He opened his menu to see what else had changed. Izuku Midoriya. Level 3, 20.5% exp. Class. None. Idle. Student of All Might, +3 to all stats every level. HP 130 130s, regen 0.442%. MP 305 305ths, regen 1%. SP 155 155ths, regen 0.476%. STR. 17. Bit. 13. X. 14. STM. 14. Int. 30. Wisconsin. 30. Luck. 17. Perks. Mental equilibrium. Int and Wisconsin are always equal. Flaws. Fanboy. -20% stat gain loud thinker. You sometimes mutter when you go deep in thought. Wait, what? Izuku looked at his perk, he didn't even know he had that. The flaws he understood, but not his odd perk. This would make things so much easier for him than when training his mind. He was going to work on those flaws though, as well. Izuku noticed a glowing box around the class part of the screen, and he tapped so he could see the different classes. Mage. You are able to use any type of quirk, you still have to train it though. You can also use your magic like a cloak, allowing you to increase your power and regeneration, depending on how much magic you put into it. Plus 100% exp gain for spells, plus 100% magic capacity and regen. Berserker. You gain an increase in all physical stats, but get a decrease in mental stats. You are able to get stronger the less health you have. Lose all sense of pain, allowing you to fight at 100% until the fight is over. Knight. Small increase in strength and defense, large increase in speed. Increases abilities with blades by 100%. All physical skills gain plus 50% exp. Guardian. Get large boost in health, stamina and defense. Get 2 skills. 1. You power up by taking damage. However much damage you take during this time increases your strength for 1 attack. 2. A shield skill that uses your magic to block incoming attacks. Health is based on how much magic you put in. No time limit on skill. Martial Artist. Large increase in reflex and strength. Allows you to learn powerful styles just by seeing them. Yes, this includes styles from fiction. Plus 100% physical stat gain. Plus 100% X to fighting styles. Scholar. Increase in learning and teaching. Plus 100% mental stat gain. Plus 100% X to teaching. Devourer. Gives a skill that absorbs one's power after you beat them, can be from anything living, giving you a permanent base stat increase. As Izuku reads through the classes he can't help but be unnerved at the last class. From the sound of it, it made it sound like it devoured your opponent to increase your own power. Izuku didn't want that, so he immediately crossed it off the list. Berserker seemed interesting, but he didn't like the decrease in mental stats. Scholar was also off the list, as all the other classes were much better. Knight and Martial Artist seemed nice, but they were not as good as Guardians or Mages. Mage allowed him to use any type of quirk and gave him an extra skill. But if Izuku was being honest with himself, Guardian was the thing he wanted. He could defend against any attack and protect anyone out there. Nodding to himself, he clicked on the Guardian before he felt searing pain throughout his body. Luckily for him, it left as quickly as it appeared. Deciding to see what changes it made, he opened up his stats again. Izuku Midoriya. Level 3, 20.5% exp. Class. Guardian. Idle. Student of All Might, +3 to all stats every level. HP 131,300s, regen 0.442% per minute. MP 305 305ths, regen 1% per minute. SP 155 1550ths, regen 0.467% per minute. STR 17. Bit 13. EX 14. STM 14. N 30. Wisconsin 30. Luck 17. Perks. Mental equilibrium. Int and Wisconsin are always equal. Guardian. -50% damage taken. Wow. So getting the Guardian class improved his HP and SP by 10. Sure, it didn't fill it up all the way, but that doesn't matter. Izuku then looked at the 2 new skills he got. Vendetta, active, level 1, 0% exp. Damage taken while this is active increases the damage you do. Number of attacks. 1. Damage conversion. 5-1. Hero's Shield, active passive, level 1, 0% exp. You can use your mana to create a permanent shield around yourself or others. More mana means more defense. At higher levels you can drain the energy back into yourself for a quick refill. Mana conversion. 10-1. Current defense from Hero's Shield. 0. Izuku was impressed, he could be both DPS and a tank at the same time. He could easily pass either of these off as a quirk, and not only that, but the shield was permanent and he could add mana constantly to increase its power. And if he needed a little mana for a healing spell or an attack, he could easily take it back. He went and poured all his mana into his shield, giving him 30 defense points. It wasn't much, but it was a low-level skill which he would have to strengthen over time. Excited for his second day of training, he got out of bed and to his closet. Before he got dressed, he used to observe his casual clothes. Plain white t-shirt. Brance +1 defense. Durability 10/10. Plain blue jeans. Brance +2 defense. Durability 15/15. Too bad I don't have any clothes that give me more defense or other stats. Wait, what if I were to put magic into my clothes? Said Izuku. Deciding to test this at a later time, he got dressed and went downstairs where his mother was cooking breakfast. "Hey mom, you won't believe what happened yesterday while you were out," said Izuku. Midoriya had been out of the house yesterday, so she did not hear about Izuku's new quirk. "What is Izuku? Did something bad happen? Are you okay?" she said worriedly. "I finally got my quirk," he said, refraining from bouncing up and down in joy. "Really? What is your quirk?" "It turns my life into an RPG video game. Training increases my stats and allows me to do amazing things. For instance, I used a bit of my mana to make a weak but permanent shield around my body. It takes a lot of mana, but as I level it up, it will get stronger. I would show you some other spells, but I just used my mana to make the shields, so I am running on empty right now." Izuku took a deep breath after saying all that so quickly. Inko looked at her son in shock and happiness. He finally had a quirk, and one with this level of power would mean you could become a hero. "Izuku. This is amazing." "Yeah, I know, right? I had just gotten a system update which added classes, perks, and titles. I went and chose the Guardian perk as it will allow me to defend everyone," said Izuku before he sat down and started eating. "I'm going to be going to the beach to train and get stronger, and don't worry, I won't slack off on my studying. If anything, I will just work harder." "Well, if you're going to be training, you better hurry up. You are going to want to get in all the training you can get if you want to get accepted into UA this year." Izuku nodded before continuing to eat. He decided to level up his observer skill by using it on various things in the house. The first thing he used it on is the food. Scrambled eggs. Increases all regeneration by 50% for 30 minutes. Increases stat gain by 50% for 5 hours. Izuku's eyes shot open at this. Eating foods increases his stat gain and regeneration, and since scrambled eggs were a common type of food, maybe higher level foods would offer even better status effects. Izuku decided then and there that he was going to get a cooking skill and level it up as much as possible. "Hey mom. Do you think you could teach me how to cook? I just got a stat notification saying that food helps increase stat gain, and I think learning to cook could really help me out in the long run." "Sure, now eat up. If you're going to be training, you're going to need all the food you can get." Izuku nodded and continued eating. After eating and getting ready to go, he started running to the beach. Ping. For repeated use, a new skill has been made. Running, active, level 1 cost per minute 20 SP. Increases movement speed by 102%. Thanks to his higher stamina, he made it to the beach early with energy to spare. He even leveled up his running skill twice. He decided to rest and refill his stamina. As he sat down, he slowly closed his eyes and meditated, trying to feel the magic inside of him to increase his control over it. Ping. For specific actions, you have created a new skill. Meditation, active, level 1. Through the use of meditation, one can speed up their rate of regeneration. However, this leaves them vulnerable to attacks. Increases all regeneration by 5% when active. It worked. Izuku decided it would be a good idea to power level this skill and make it easier to grind for stats. After about 30 minutes of meditating, he started moving the trash. While Izuku was moving the trash, he noticed something. He didn't feel tired at all. Even though his stamina would take a couple hours to refill, he didn't feel tired at all. Maybe he would only feel tired once his stamina ran out, but what if he kept pushing himself? He decided to test this. He currently had around 350 SP, so he decided to push himself as hard as possible. Doing this gained him +3 STR and +2 STM. Once his stamina bar ran out, he instantly felt tired. However, this did not stop him as he kept going. His HP, which was about 400 currently, started dropping slowly as he kept working. Izuku, however, did not stop. He kept going until his horsepower was about 100, earning him another 3 STR and 5 STM. He also gained 7 VIT. Once his health was low enough, he stopped and sat down to meditate. A couple of minutes later, All Might showed up and saw Izuku sitting down and seemingly napping. "Hey kid, wake up," said All Might, shaking Izuku's shoulder lightly to wake him up. "Good morning, sorry, I was resting. I got here a bit early and decided to start working," said Izuku as he stretched. Also yesterday I got a system update apparently. Really? What did the update give you? All Might was curious, what more could this quirk give? Izuku then told him everything he knew about the update, the class system, the perks, and the titles. Speaking of perks and flaws, I want to use my observation skill on you to see your stats, is that okay? Sure young Midoriya. Just don't tell anybody, okay? All Might knew his missing lung would be put down as a flaw, so he didn't want anyone to know about it. Alright then, Izuku used to observe All Might. Kashinori Yagi. Level. Class. Title. Symbol of Peace All Might. HP. MP00. Locked. SP. STR. DIT. X. STM. Int. Wisconsin. Luck. Perks. Number 1 hero. Plus 100% to reputation gain, 8 wielder of 1 for all. Plus 5 to all stats every level. Flaws. Missing lung. Minus 75% stats. Anemic. Minus 5% stats. Ping. Quest obtained. Kashinori Aka All Might was wounded in battle and lost a lung. As the gamer, it is your job to heal him and bring him back to his prime. Objective. Use your healing spell to heal All Might. Completion rewards 25,000 XP plus 20% healing power, All Might's eternal thanks. Completion failure. 1000 XP, the symbol of peace is lost, the world goes into chaos, possible chance of death. Time limit. Until you go to the UA. Oh, that can't be good, said Izuku. What is it? After I used to observe you, I got a quest to heal your lost lung. If I don't complete the quest, the world will go into chaos and there is a possible chance I will die. Well shit, All Might was worried now, not even a recovery girl could fix him, and yet Izuku's quirk expects him to be able to heal him. Wait, they still had 10 months until the exam. Using his healing spell will give it tons of levels, meaning the healing process would go much faster. Izuku, I need you to use your healing spell on me, okay? Doing this will get you lots of levels in that skill, and let's not forget, using up your mana will allow it to expand a little each time. Right, let's do this. Izuku began using his healing spell on All Might, but his mana quickly ran out. Now we work on your strength and stamina, we will keep this pattern up and quickly make you stronger. Yes sir. Line break. Izuku came home from training exhausted, not just physically, but mentally as well, however he was quite happy with his progress as well. Izuku Midoriya. Level 5, 52.27 XP. Class. Guardian. Title. Student of All Might, plus 3 to all stats every level. HP 137 2998. MP 0420. SP 03115. STR 33. DIT 28. EX 25. STM 30. INT 40. Wisconsin 40. Luck 23. Stat points 10. Perks. Mental equilibrium. INT and Wisconsin are always equal. Guardian. Minus 50% damage taken. Flaws. Fanboy. Minus 15% stat gain. Loud thinker. You sometimes mumble when you are in deep thought. Yep, that's right, he leveled up twice. He learned that by sparring with someone he can gain experience and level up. He had to refill his stamina first, but after sparring with him some he gained a level which healed him fully and allowed him to keep going. He had gotten to another level before he had worn himself out. He had managed to get Wisconsin from exploiting the sparring system, and another 2 for his tactics, and one last one for using the level ups to help keep him going. Now that he had 10 stat points, he knew exactly where he was going to put them. But he was too tired to actually do it at the moment, everything was sore and he was completely tired. When Izuku got home he ate dinner, which helped with his regeneration a little bit before he went upstairs and sat at his desk. After resting for a bit he reopened his start menu and placed his points. INT 40 equals 50. Mental equilibrium bonus. Wisconsin 40 equals 50. Izuku suddenly got a headache due to this, it lasted about 30 seconds before it disappeared. Several windows suddenly popped up. By raising your int to 50 you have gained a special skill. Mental partition, active, level 1, 0.00% exp. You are now able to divide your thoughts onto multiple tasks at once. Number of tasks you are able to focus on at once. 2. By raising your wish to 50 you have gained a special skill. Energy absorption, active, level 1, 0.00% exp. Allows you to take energy from the atmosphere to refill your mana. Plus 1 mana regen per second. It worked. Izuku wasn't sure if leveling up his stats to 50 would give him a skill, but he was glad he took that chance. And the skills he got were amazing. By using a mental partition he was able to use his meditation skill and power level the hell out of it, and not only that, but energy absorption would allow him to recover mana much faster and heal everything much faster. I guess the best thing to do is to start power leveling both energy absorption and meditation, thought Izuku, but what am I going to do in the meantime? Maybe watch an anime. After all, it is probably going to be the best way of getting skills. In fact, my skill Vendetta seemed much like Meliodas' technique Revenge Counter. Maybe if I see him do it will rename the technique. Well, it wouldn't hurt to try. Using mental partition, he activated his skill of meditation before going and looking up the fight between Meliodas and Hendrickson. This is a reference to the 7 deadly sins anime, please go watch it, it is amazing. Thing. The skill Vendetta has been renamed to Revenge Counter. By watching a master at work, the skill Revenge Counter has increased by 5. Revenge Counter, active, level 6, 0.00 exp. Any damage you take while this skill is active increases the strength of a single attack. Damage conversion. 1-1. It worked. If he kept getting stronger at the rate he is going, he could technically be a real-life version of Meliodas. But that is going to take a while to do. But for now he is going to start leveling up some of his skills. He decided to test something and didn't sleep that entire night, instead he kept on leveling his meditation, energy absorption, and hero's shield skills. Meditation, active, level 33, 24.27% exp. Increases all regeneration by 165%. Energy absorption, active, level 11, 57.63% exp. Plus 11 mana regeneration per second. Hero's shield, active passive, level 10, 87.50% exp. Mana conversion. 1-1. Current defense from hero's shield. 70-53. Mental partition, active, level 3, 42.37% exp. Number of tasks you are able to focus on at once. 3. Max mana 520 equals 680. Izuku noticed that whenever he was using his energy absorption skill, the temperature started to drop slowly. Meaning that if he got it high he could absorb any fire or energy based attacks. Izuku then sighed, realizing it was a school day today. Luckily his test worked out and he found out he didn't need to sleep. He didn't feel tired at all once his stamina refilled. However, he realized he needed to tell Bakugo at some point or another. He was going to find out anyway, so he might as well tell him. He wondered how he would take it, seeing as how the useless Deku now had a quirk that could become even better than his. He only hoped that the friendship they had as children would hold out and Bakugo wouldn't try to kill him immediately. He kept his mental partition on so he could level meditation as fast as possible. When he got to school he had already almost gained another level in it. He quickly wrote down something on a piece of paper and folded it up. As he passed by Bakugo's desk he secretly put down the paper on the desk before going and sitting down. When Bakugo came in he saw the paper and opened it up and read it. "Meet me after class, I need to tell you something privately, Izuku." Bakugo looked at Izuku, who put a finger over his mouth as if to say, "Please don't tell anyone." Bakugo, surprisingly, had a look of understanding as he nodded and sat down. It was an unspoken thing within the school. If someone wanted to see you privately then it was important and needed to be respected. Even Bakugo respected this rule, even though this was the first time it had happened to him. After the class Izuku and Bakugo went into the hall to talk. "Alright Deku, what's this about?" said Bakugo in a surprisingly non-threatening voice. "After that fiasco with the slime villain my quirk finally manifested." "Wait, are you kidding me? You had a quirk this whole time and it only just manifested?" said Bakugo, surprised at the fact that such a thing could even happen. "Yes, it makes my life like an RPG game, allowing me to increase my stats and gain skills," said Izuku. "What the fuck makes you think I should believe you? You have been quirkless for all these years and it just now manifested. How do I know that you are not just lying to me? Try and hit me, I have a shield put up by using the mana that my quirk blessed me with. Don't use your explosions, as that would cause unnecessary attention and we would both get in trouble." "Fine then." Bakugo threw a punch right at Izuku, but his fist hit something else. He had hit Izuku's shield, taking down a few of its defense points, but it also hurt Bakugo a little bit. Izuku then healed Bakugo's hand back to normal. "Now do you believe me?" Bakugo sighed. "I guess so. All this time I thought you were quirkless and you were trying to be my friend so you would get a ride to fame. I guess I was wrong, so I'm sorry about that." Izuku was shocked. Bakugo just apologized. And to him. Izuku didn't even think this was possible, but then again did have a point. "No, that's not what I was trying to do, I just wanted us to be friends, that's all. I didn't want a ride to fame, I wanted to work for it. So what do you say? Friends? Friends? But don't expect me to always save your ass when you're in trouble." "Alright then. Your friendship with Bakugo has been restored. Hey, maybe since my quirk revolves around a video game, maybe I could form a party and we can train together." As soon as Izuku said the words form and party, a new window showed up. Party formed. Invite Bakugo Katsuki. Izuku pressed yes, and suddenly screens appeared in front of Bakugo. Stats. Bakugo Katsuki. Level 10, exp 50%. Class. Berserker. Title. Prideful Pyromaniac, plus 50% damage to fire-based techniques. Quirk. Explosions. HP, 300 300s. MP 00, locked. SP, 200 200s. STR 25. Bit 30. EX 33. STM 20. IN 21. Wisconsin 18. Luck 25. Perks. Pyromaniac. Minus 50% damage from fire-based techniques, plus 50% exp to fire-based skills. Flaws. Short temper. Plus 25% STR and Dex when angry, minus 50% int and Wisconsin when angry minus 50% reputation gain, vulgar. Minus 5% reputation gain. Wow, you're pretty strong, and your class is Berserker too. What the hell does that mean? And why the fuck does it say I have a short temper? Bakugo yelled only to realize immediately after he said this. Well, the Berserker class gives an increase to physical stats, that may be why you're so strong even though you don't work out. But the less amount of health you have the stronger you become. You can also lose all sense of pain allowing you to fight at your fullest constantly, but you won't know if you have a fatal wound or not. Bakugo was surprised at how strong he was. But then wondered how strong Izuku was. Wait, so how strong are you now? Izuku Midoriya. Level 5, 52.27 exp. Class. Guardian. Title. Student of All Might, plus 3 to all stats every level. HP 2998 2998. MP 680 680s. SP 3115 3115. STR 33. Bit 28. EX 25. STM 30. INT 50. Wisconsin 50. Luck 23. Stat points. 0. Perks. Mental equilibrium. Int and Wisconsin are always equal, Guardian. Minus 50% damage taken. Flaws. Loud thinker. You sometimes mumble when you are in deep thought. Izuku idly noticed that his fanboy Quirk was now gone. Wait, how come you have so much more health and stamina than me and yet your vid is lower than mine? And what is with that mental equilibrium perk? My class is the Guardian. It gives an increase in health, stamina and defense, as well as some additional skills. One of those skills is that shield that I showed you. The other allows me to absorb damage and send it right back in a powerful attack. As for the mental equilibrium, well, I'm guessing it has to do with the two sides of my brain working in tandem constantly. Also, that title is another thing I wanted to explain to you. If I told you later then you would probably try and kill me or something. But right now we need to get to class before we get in trouble. Alright, but you better have a damn good explanation. They went to their classes and studied as hard as possible. Bakugo gained 3 int and 2 wins, while Izuku gained 1 point in both. Funny thing though, as while they were studying they both gained a skill called studying, which increased the rate at which they can increase their mental points, as well as study slightly faster. After school they both went to the beach where All Might was waiting. I thought that we were going to keep this training a secret, said All Might. Akin has been a friend of mine since we were kids. Sure, there were some bumps on the road, but we are back to being friends again, and I thought I better explain now rather than him finding out on his own. Our friendship would never be repaired if that was the case. On the plus side, I was able to create a party and add him to it, so we both get the benefits of my quirk, explained Izuku. Yeah, and you still owe me that explanation as well. Why are you being trained by All Might of all people? Yelled Bakugo. Izuku and All Might then explained all that they could, how All Might was injured and needed a successor for him to pass his quirk onto. All Might then explained the origins of One for All and how he got the injury. Thankfully Bakugo was surprisingly understanding and decided he was going to start training as well. He wasn't going to just sit back and let Deku surpass him without giving it his all. From then on the two trained together. Izuku managed to unlock Bakugo's magic and started to teach him the basics of how to use magic. Afterwards it was up to Bakugo to determine how to train his power. As they trained they also learned many different skills and trained them as much as possible. Bakugo skills. Explosion, active, quirk, level 50, 51.735x, cost. Depends on stamina usage. Allows for usage of explosion abilities. This skill has evolved after enough usage, allowing for additional skills to be made. Point blank explosion. Allows user to create explosions from their body. Projectile. Long range attack that allows one to explode things from a distance. Mana bomb, active, level 25, 83.05% exp, cost. 35 MP. A long range explosive that is made using mana. Damage 79-105. Advanced Mana Shield, active, level 50, 47.65% exp. Cost. 25 mana per second. A superior version of the Mana Shield, allowing for more defense and energy absorption. Defense. 215. Absorption. 1.5%. Basic Healing, active, level 47, 82.47% exp. Cost. 27 MP per second. Basic Healing spell for healing minor wounds. Heals 57 HP and 57 SP per second. Mental Partition level 21, 29.38% exp. Tasks able to focus on at once. 11. Energy Absorption, active, level 28, 54.39% exp. Izuku Skills. Meditation, active, level 99, 81.37% exp. Increases all regeneration by 495%. Running LV max to sprint. Increases running speed by 300%. Sprint, active, level 3, 57.23% exp. Cost 49 SP per second. Increases movement speed by 306%. Mental Partition level 28, 31.82% exp. Tasks able to focus on at once 15. Energy Absorption, active, level 57, 29.42% exp. Plus 58 mana regen per second. Air Walking, active, LV3 cost 19 MP per step. By kicking the air at high speed and sending mana out your feet you can propel yourself into the air at high speeds. Revenge Counter, active, level 11, 57.19% exp. Damage Conversion 1 to 5. Hero's Shield, active passive, level 43, 43.27% exp. Mana Conversion. 1 to 37. Current Defense Points. 0. Advanced Healing, active, level 12, 0.15% exp. Cost 88 MP per second. An advanced healing spell for healing deep wounds. Heals 162 HP and 162 SP per second, quickly heals low-level status effects. Damage Transfer, active, level 3, 17.54% exp. Cost 25 MP to move health around. Allows one to heal others by taking their wounds. Wounds given to someone else are transferred to you. This can work with Revenge Counter. All three of them were surprised at just how quickly they improved. If Izuku had a couple hours to increase his defense points, he could easily take a low-level blow from All Might. And thanks to his Revenge Counter, he could easily redirect it right back with much more power. Bakugo's explosions became immensely more powerful, however they were surprised when it said his quirk evolved. Now he could throw explosions across the battlefield with surprising accuracy. This meant that when paired with Izuku one's quirk could evolve into something much stronger. They tried this with Inko, and after a lot of training her quirk evolved from simply attracting objects to full-blown telekinesis. Their stats also increased to incredible levels as well. Izuku Midoriya. Level 10, 42% exp. Class. Defender. Title. Student of All Might, +3 to all stats every level. Nickname. Deku. HP 22,335 22,335, regen 5.6% per minute. MP 2875 2875, regen 5.5% per minute. SP 25,750 25,750, regen 5.73% per minute. STR 157. Bit 168. X 148. STM 172. Int 165. Wisconsin 165. Luck 38. Perks. Mental Equilibrium. Int and Wisconsin will always be the same, Guardian. Minus 50% damage taken. Bakugo Katsuki. Level 12. Class. Berserker. Title. Prideful Pyro. Nickname Kakin. HP 2534 2534, regen 4.95% per minute. MP 2345 2345, regen 4.92% per minute. SP 2454 2345, regen 4.71% per minute. STR 178. Bit 165. X 182. STM 164. Int 157. Wisconsin 148. Luck 23. Perks. Pyromaniac. Minus 50% damage from fire-based techniques, plus 50% exp to fire-based skills. Flaws. Vulgar. Minus 5% reputation gain. After the 10-month training period they were more than ready. They could easily beat some of the weaker pro heroes that relied on their quirk rather than training for any kind of circumstance. You two have made me so proud, you managed to clean up the beach much faster than I thought, and then you two kept going. Your rivalry has made both of you stronger. But remember to keep pushing yourselves. Otherwise you will stagnate, and someone could easily use that to beat you. Now Izuku, it is time for you to accept One for All, said All Might. Bakugo was perfectly fine with this, he had accepted it months ago, he had a great quirk already, for all he cared, One for All was just a skill that Izuku could learn. Not only that, but he wasn't too keen on breaking his limbs every time he wanted to punch something. Now eat this. All Might held up a hair in front of Izuku. While both teams were slightly disturbed by this, they were not shocked, as they had come to the conclusion that they would need to do this in order to obtain One for All. Izuku took the hair and ate it. He immediately felt some kind of power flowing through him. Ping. Through the quirk known as Inheritance, you have obtained the following quirks. Inheritance LV Max. You are able to transfer your quirks to someone else, your quirks cannot be stolen away. One for All, active, level 1, 0.00% exp. A stockpile quirk that has been passed down many times, due to this it has a massive amount of energy which one can draw from to multiply their power 100-fold. However, this may cause damage to the user as well. Multiplies STR and Dex by 100. Ping. For your safety, a new skill has been made. Power Limiter, passive, level 1, 0.00% exp. Limits your total power as to not cause harm to the user. Current limit, 2%. Ping. A new skill has randomly been formed. Plus Ultra. Unknown, level 1, 0.00% exp. A technique that allows one to go beyond their limits and do the impossible. Activates when health is lower in crisis. Unknown effects. While One for All is incredibly powerful. However, I do have the power limiter as well, but at least it allows me to use One for All without harming myself, said Izuku. I guess the game already gave you access to One for All then, would have thought it would take a little bit longer. Now you two better hurry up and get to the school before the entrance exams start. I don't want to hear that you did not make it in because you were late, okay? Said All Might sternly. Yes, sir. Both Izuku and Bakugo said simultaneously before they ran off to UA. The start of their adventure has truly now begun. Line break. As they approached the gates of UA, both Bakugo and Izuku were incredibly excited. Their journeys have finally started, they are now on the path to becoming great heroes. They were both slightly nervous, but they didn't show it. Izuku stopped and looked at the building with awe. So this is where it all begins, our tales of becoming the greatest heroes who ever lived. Izuku then tripped over his own foot. Or maybe I'll just die, he thought, embarrassed that this could even happen with his high dexterity. However, he did not hit the ground, instead he remained floating next to Bakugo and someone else. Sorry I used my quirk on you. I didn't want you to fall, as that would just bring you bad luck, someone said cheerfully. Izuku looked up and saw the girl next to him. He used Observe on her to see what she is like. Ichako Uraraka. Level 7. Class. None. Idle. None. Quirk. Minor Gravity Control. HP. MP00. Locked. SP. STR 15. Bit 12. X 14. STM 15. N 20. Wisconsin 18. Luck 25. Perks. Cheerful Optimist. Plus 20% reputation gain. Wait, so what is your quirk anyway? Asked Izuku. My quirk is anti-gravity, if I touch something I can get rid of the effects of gravity, making it weightless. However, it does have its limits, if I overuse it, I will start to get nauseous. Said Uraraka. Oh neat. If you had a really heavy weapon you could use your anti-gravity and do a lot of damage with it. Izuku said excitedly, even though he no longer had the flaw fanboy, he still loved seeing new quirks. Thank you. Well, I guess I will see you two at the exams. Bye. She then walked away happily. Well, I better get signed up then. Izuku signed up and went to the waiting room. Both he and Bakugo sat down. Bakugo had been surprisingly silent so far. They both looked at the papers they were given and found they were going to be in different sections. Damn, I really wanted to beat you, but I guess not. Well, there are still the points. Whoever gets the most points wins. Okay. Said. He was really excited about this apparently. Yeah, may the best hero win. The voice suddenly boomed out from the speakers. Hello everyone, can I get a hey? Silence. That's okay. Let's get on with the show. The goal of the exercise is to get as many points as possible. There are 4 types of robots that you will be facing. Wait a second. The pamphlet we were given only shows 3 types. Someone said. Right you are. The 4th type of robot is called the Zero Pointer. It is worth no points and it is best if you just run from it. Each robot is harder than the last, so do your best. Yelled President Mick. Everyone went to their separate training areas. Izuku idly noticed Uraraka looking quite nervous and trying to get some confidence. Izuku decided not to interfere as he got himself ready. And start. Izuku rushed off while everyone looked confused. Well, what are you waiting for? Go. The enemy isn't just going to wait for you to get ready. Look, someone is already out there getting points. As soon as they realized this, they started running to catch up. Izuku, however, was already in the city. He was using his air walking technique to practically fly through the air. He spotted some robots up ahead and activated One for All. He flew to them and punched as hard as he could. However, due to his extreme strength as well as One for All, he tore through them easily. 0 == 7. Izuku smiled. The game helped him keep track of points. Izuku then realized that he had almost no offensive spells except for Mana Blast. Sure, he was strong enough, but some offensive spells would really come in help. Looking around, he saw a blonde-haired boy firing lasers from his navel. Weirdly, Izuku moved on destroying as many robots as he could. He saw a boy with grape-like hair being cornered by several robots. He charged up a Mana Blast, but he poured a lot more mana into it than normal and let it loose. The blast destroyed the robots and saved the kid. Izuku went down to him. Hey, are you alright? Thank you so much, man. I thought those things had me. No problem. Just don't let yourself get cornered again. Izuku then left to look for more robots. Points. 7 == 15. Wow, I'm doing really well. However, I want to at least get up to 50 points before time runs out. Izuku started destroying other robots and saving other examinees that were about to get hurt. Points. 55. Time's almost up, yelled President Mick. At least I have enough points to. What the heck is that thing? A giant robot started moving around, crushing buildings as it moved. That thing must be the zero-pointer. I better get out of here before it spots me. Izuku was about to run before he heard someone. Help. He looked towards the voice and saw the girl from earlier. Her leg was beneath some rubble and she was having trouble moving. Instead of running the other way like everyone else, he ran towards the zero-pointer. What is he doing? He is going to get himself killed. Wait, that's the guy that saved me earlier. What's he going to do? The guy that asked about the zero-pointer noticed Uraraka underneath a pile of rubble. He then understood what Izuku was doing. While everyone was running away, he charged headfirst to protect someone he barely even knew. He thought. The zero-pointer noticed Uraraka and threw a punch towards her. Izuku dumped all his remaining mana into Hero's Shield. Defense points. 55,500. Izuku then stood in front of her to shield her from the blow. The zero-pointer's fist came down upon them and dust went everywhere. Everyone watched with bated breath as the dust cleared. Izuku had stopped the fist in its tracks, however he had a milky white aura around him. Defense points. 55,500 == 10,250. Counter points 226,250. Everyone was shocked at this, especially the pro heroes watching. This kid had just stopped the zero-pointer's fist in his tracks to defend someone. Uraraka looked up at her savior and recognized him as the guy she had used her quirk on to make sure he didn't fall down. Don't worry, I am here. Izuku then pushed away the fist and jumped into the air. He channeled One for All and reared his fist back. Revenge counter, yelled Izuku. He punched the robot with everything he had. The robot's head was launched off its body while the body was pushed back a fair bit. If one looked closely, they would see the robot's head was caved inward. Izuku then floated back to the ground and landed next to. Time's up, yelled President Mick. Are you okay? Asked Izuku as he moved the rubble off of her body. Why yeah, Uraraka stuttered, trying to find the right words. This guy had just saved her from the zero-pointer's fist before he blew off its head. And he barely even looked fazed. Let me help you up. Izuku got her up and started using his healing spell to heal her leg. Meanwhile, everyone else was trying to figure out just what his quirk was. He was pretty much flying around the area but was able to destroy robots like it was nothing. All Might smiled as he watched, trying to contain his laughter at everyone's faces. Izuku got her to a recovery girl who healed her. Thank you for saving me earlier, I really thought I was going to die, said Uraraka. No problem, it's just what I do. See you when school starts, okay? Right. Izuku then went home and waited for his letter. A couple weeks later it arrived. He went up to his room to open it. As he was opening it, a disc fell out and a hologram of All Might was projected. Hello young Midoriya. As you know, I am going to be teaching here and sorry what? Wrap it up. But I have so much I need to tell him. Fine. You had a perfect score on the written exam and you had managed to get 55 villain points as well. That's more than enough to get it. However, that isn't all. We saw that as you went around destroying villains, you also went and saved people. And just how you stopped that zero-pointer. They would be a disgrace as a hero agency if they didn't take rescues into account. And for your effort in saving young Uraraka, you have been awarded 60 rescue points. That means you have a total of 115 points. Congratulations young Midoriya. This is your Hero Academia. The hologram then turned off. Ping. Quest completed. Objective. Toshinori Aka All Might was wounded in battle and lost a lung. As the gamer, it is your job to heal him and bring him back to his prime. Completion rewards 25,000 XP plus 20% healing power. All Might's eternal thanks. You leveled up 5 times. Izuku opened his door while his mother stood there waiting. I did it mom. I got a score of 115 points. Izuku decided to arrange his stats later. For now they were going to celebrate. Line break. Izuku Midoriya. Level 15, 12.24% exp. Class. Guardian. Title. Student of All Might plus 3 stats each level. Nickname. Deku. HP 23,835 23,835. MP 3114 3114. SP 27,250 27,250. STR 172. Bit 183. X 163. STM 187. Int 180. Wisconsin 180. Luck 53. Stat points. 25. Perks. Mental equilibrium. Int and Wisconsin will always be the same. Guardian. Minus 50% damage taken. Flaws. Novice 1 for all user. Using 1 for all at all above the safe percentage will cause damage and broken bones. Ping. For getting your luck over 50 you have gained a new skill. Lucky Star, passive, level 1, 0.00% exp. 1% chance to grant 300% exp for a skill. Izuku was confused after getting the perks for int and he rarely got any other perk skills given to him when he hit milestones. And not only that, the novice 1 for all user was labeled as a flaw. It was understandable considering it would break his bones. But why had he not been getting any other perks for the 50 stat milestones? And not only that, but Izuku had healed All Might months ago, so why was the quest only finished now? It didn't make any sense. Izuku decided he was going to get to the root of the problem. He needed to find a way to see what was wrong with his quirk. Main menu, said Izuku. The screen suddenly popped up in front of him. Stats. Inventory. Reputations. Skills. Settings. Help. Izuku pressed on the Help tab. If there were problems with the game, then the Help tab would be the place to go. Help. Please type what you need help with and press enter. Someone will assist you momentarily. The keyboard then popped up beneath the screen. Izuku looked at it for a second before he started typing. My game has been having some problems. I had completed a quest months ago, but it only just finished. Another thing is that the perk milestones are a bit glitchy. I have only gotten 4 of them so far, but my stats are now quite high, almost in the 200s. Did my game stop working or is it something else? Izuku then sent the question out and waited. While he was waiting he put all his focus on meditation. After spending about 30 minutes meditating he looked at his skill to see how much more experience was needed and got really confused when he saw the screen. Meditation, active, level 99, 101.27% exp. Increases all regeneration by 495%. Why didn't his skill level up? Just what the hell was going on? Ping. Our apologies, the game is not perfect and there are bound to be some glitches. Staying up for a long period of time can cause one system to start failing. We recommend getting some sleep so you can reset the system. Staying up too late can cause problems even if you have the gamer's mind. Loss of sleep can cause late quests problems, skill bugs, and otherworldly problems. Not sleeping for over a year can cause loss of control, mental instability, loss of emotions, or death. Suddenly everything made sense. He had not slept for almost 10 months, so the game was starting to break down. The reason he was not learning very many new skills, the late quest completion, and the fact that he had not gotten a quest at all, since he had gotten the quest to heal All Might. Izuku laid down on his bed for the first time in months and closed his eyes to sleep. He deactivated his mental partition so he could sleep nice and sound. He only faintly noticed a window in the corner of his eye. Rebooting system, please wait. Line break. System reboot complete. All functions at 100%. It's a nice day for a walk. HP, MP, and SP fully restored. Please wait. Izuku woke up to 3 screens floating in front of his face. He waved them away. After doing so many more screens popped up. For reaching 50 STR you have gained the skill. Quick attack, active, level 1. Allows the user to use multiple attacks in quick succession. Number of attacks. 3. By reaching 100 STR you have gained the skill. Iron Fist, passive, level 1. STR is 50% more effective, each level increases effectiveness by 5%, can increase level by training. By reaching 150 STR you have gained the skill. Shockwave, active, level 1. Due to your immense power you are able to launch shockwaves at your opponents, range increases with STR. By reaching 50 VIT you have gained the skill. Damage transfer, active, level 1. Allows you to take on the injuries of your allies. You give HP to allies that are injured, works with revenge counter. By reaching 100 VIT you have gained the skill. Heart and Body, passive, level 1. Increases defense by 50%. By reaching 150 VIT you have gained the skill. Shock Absorption, passive, level 1. This skill allows you to absorb shock waves while staying in place. If hit with a strong blow you will stay in place so you don't go flying. By reaching 50 dex you have gained the skill. Speed Break, active, level 1 cost. Depends of dexterity. Allows you to double your speed for a time, this uses up a lot of stamina however, so this skill is good for getting where you need to go quickly. Allows running on water. By reaching 150 dex you have gained the skill. Perfect Coordination, passive, LV max. Allows for pure fluid movement and awareness of yourself. No more wasted movement. By reaching 50 STM you have gained the skill. All-Nighter, passive, LV max. If you have at least 1 stamina you no longer feel tired. Warning. You will need to continue checking the stamina gauge to see how much stamina you have. By reaching 100 STM you have gained the skill. Body Conditioning, passive, level 1. Allows for easier time making muscle memory. Plus 25% exp to all fighting styles. By reaching 150 STM you have gained the skill. Regeneration, active, level 1. Allows one to use their stamina to heal themselves. Conversion rate 5-1. By reaching 100 int you have gained the skill. Enchanting, active, level 1. Allows users to enchant items by putting mana into them, more mana equals better enchantments. By reaching 150 int you have gained the skill. Mana Battery, active, LV max. Allows the user to circulate mana through and store mana inside objects. Using this on an object for long enough increases the object's durability and strength when full on mana and the object's max storage. By reaching 100 Wisconsin you have gained the skill. Energy Wave, active, level 1. One is able to unleash large amounts of mana like a wave at an opponent. Damage depends on how much mana one pushes into this skill. By reaching 150 Wisconsin you have gained the skill. Energy Sponge, active, LV max. Allows one to absorb energy attacks to refill reserves, heal oneself, or increase strength. Charge, active, level 3, 12.5% exp. Allows user to put more energy into a technique increasing the effectiveness of the technique. Conversion rates. Warning. Maths. 100% xn equals 100% x and 5%. Cultivation, active, level 1 from meditation. Cultivation is an advanced form of meditation that allows one to increase the regeneration of not only himself, but others around him. Increases all users' regeneration by 500%. Increases regeneration of others within range by 5%. Range. 15 meters. Holy shit. All these skills were skills that he had not learned because he had not slept. Izuku then realized just how important sleeping truly is. If he didn't sleep then he would stop gaining skills, he could have even stopped gaining stats. Suddenly Izuku's head exploded with pain. So much knowledge entering his head at once on how to use these techniques. The pain lasted for a solid minute before it stopped. Oh god that hurt, status please. Said Izuku quietly. Aim stability. 50%, sleep to bring this back to 100%. Izuku Midoriya. Level 15, 12.24% exp. Class. Guardian. Title. Student of All Might, plus 3 stats each level. Nickname. Deku. HP 23,835 23,835. MP 3114 3114. SP 27,250 27,250. STR 172. DID 183. X 163. STM 187. INT 180. Wisconsin 180. Luck 53. Stat points. 25. Perks. Mental equilibrium. INT and Wisconsin will always be the same, Guardian. Minus 50% damage taken. Flaws. Novice 1 for all user. Using 1 for all at all above the safe percentage will cause damage and broken bones. Well at least I know how stable the game is now, I wonder if I knew about this and didn't say anything. Izuku decided to ask him the next time he saw him. Izuku went and got his school uniform on but decided to test something. He used observe on the uniform. UA high school uniform, male. A uniform given to students to wear. +5 defense. Izuku decided to use his new enchanting ability on the uniform. He pushed all the mana he could into it. MP 3114 3114 = 03178. Item enchanted. +10 STR, +10 Dex, +10 Wisconsin, and int. Ping. Enchanting has leveled up. Enchanting, active, level 5, 9.17% exp. Izuku then put on the uniform and felt a minor surge of power flowing through him. He then opened his menu to see what his quests were. Quest obtained. Objective. After learning about the ability to enchant items, you wish to create the best set of armor the world has ever seen. Rise up to the challenge and become the best enchanter the world has ever seen. Completion reward. 25,000 X bad SS armor, plus 50% reputation gain when wearing said armor. Completion failure. 2500 X, less respect from enchanters. Time limit. Until graduation from UA. Ping. Old quest has been recovered. Objective. Go to the hospital and level up your healing skill to the next tier. Completion award. 10,000 X plus 20% effectiveness of all healing, satisfaction of healing deathly ill patients. Completion failure. 1000 X, guilt of not healing the patients. Time limit. Until your second year at UA. Now this is something anyone can get behind. But first, he needs to get to class. Using his air walking ability, he flies over to the school where people are gathering around to get into the school. He lands a bit away as to not be detected and starts sprinting to the school. While he is sprinting, he activates mental partition and starts using cultivation so he can easily level it up. He slows down as he enters the building looking for class 1A. When he finally found the classroom, he opened the door. The first thing he saw was Bakugo talking with a guy that was asking about the 0-pointer. So you're from Same Academy, right? Well then, I bet you're pretty strong. I can't wait to see who is stronger. Thank you. I am looking forward to our friendly competition myself. The kid noticed Izuku and ran up to him. Hello, my name is Tenyuida. I saw how you had beaten the 0-pointer, and I must congratulate you for finding out about the secret part of the test. Tenyuida. Level 10, 42.51% exp. Class. Knight. Title. Rule-abiding trainee. Nickname. Motormouth. Quirk. Engine. HP, 200 200s. MP 00, locked. SP 240 240s. STR 21. Bit 20. X 31. STM 24. N 35. Wisconsin 25. Luck 17. Perks, none. Flaws, none. Engine, active, level 24, 54.41% exp. Increases movement speed by 50% after every gear shift. Number of gear shifts. 6. Hello, my name is Izuku Midoriya. But I didn't even know there was a secret part to the test, I just did what's right. Good, that is a great quality for a hero. Said Ida. Oh hey, it's you. Izuku turned around and saw Uraraka standing in the doorway. I just knew they were going to let you in, after all your Quirk is really powerful, after all you did manage to destroy that giant robot's head easily. She rambled on excitedly. Another voice decided to pipe in. Alright everyone, shut up and sit down. Izuku, Ida and Uraraka looked and saw someone in a sleeping bag right outside the door. Is this really our teacher, everyone thought. Nevertheless, everyone sat down. It took you 8 seconds to quiet down, time is valuable, you are all too irrational. I'm Shoto Izawa, your homeroom teacher. Go ahead and put these on and go outside, we are going to be doing a Quirk apprehension test. He said as he held up a pair of gym clothes. Wait, what about the opening ceremony? Said Uraraka. We don't have time for such luxuries now, let's go. Everyone changed and got into their gym clothes before they went back outside. Today I will be conducting a test of your quirks. Said Izawa. The test of our quirks? Everyone said. Yes, now then. Midoriya, you scored first on the practical exams, so you will be the example. How far could you throw a softball before? About 150 meters, said Izuku. Without your quirk? Izawa raised an eyebrow. Yep, I have been doing a lot of workouts for quite a while now, and I'm quite strong. Izuku wasn't completely lying, his quirk was always on, yet it wasn't a mutation quirk. And now that he has his new abilities that he didn't have before, he could easily win this. Fine, use this softball and throw it as hard as you can. Izawa handed Izuku a small ball for him to throw. I know that he is lying, so I will erase his quirk before he throws it. Then we can see just how far he can really throw it. Alright then, Izuku activated one for all, 2%. Ping. Due to extensive use, power limiter has leveled up. Power limiter, passive, level 2, 0.95% exp. Limits the power of one for all so the user does not get harmed. Current limit, 4%. Izuku smiled and activated one for all once more, multiplying his stats by 4. He then used his new skill charge and forced a lot of energy into his arm. He raised his arm back and threw the ball as hard as he could. Aizawa tried to erase his quirk, but for some reason it didn't work. Instead, the ball flew incredibly fast and was out of sight before anyone could even blink. Aizawa looked on in shock. He had just tried to erase the kid's quirk, yet nothing happened. He looked down at his phone and was shocked. He turned his phone around so everyone could see it. 1.5 kilometers, just how strong is that guy? All the other students, except shouted. Izuku sat back down and looked at his stamina. SP, 27,250 27,250 equals 13,625 27,640. Charge skill 1 equals 12. Charge, active, level 12, 48.32% exp. Passively grants plus 25% ease of casting. He had used almost all his stamina in that one throw. Thank you charge skill, you can really help a guy out. Also the person who places last will get expelled, said Aizawa. What? Everyone except and Izuku shouted. They both knew that it was a lie, and if it wasn't they were still strong enough to easily get first. Bakugo was up next. Thanks to their training, Bakugo's explosions were much stronger. When he threw the softball, he created an explosion which propelled the softball through the air. The explosion was so powerful that the shockwave it made pushed some people back. 2.1 kilometers, those two guys are monsters. How are they so strong? This pattern kept going. Izuku and Bakugo continued to dominate the competition. Bakugo's time in the 50-meter dash was 2.37 seconds, while Izuku's was 2.82 seconds. Bakugo managed to win due to his thruster skill, which shot him through the air quickly, while Izuku used his air walking skill. It wasn't as good as the thruster skill, but it basically worked on the same premise. For the grip strength, Izuku used one for all and scored about 463 kg, scoring him second place, where a guy with 6 arms managed to get 540 kg. Bakugo managed to score first inside steps, while Izuku scored second. A kid with grapes on his head managed to surprisingly score third. When all was said and done, Bakugo managed to score first. His explosions are up, please nerf, while Izuku scored second. Someone, who is called half and half, managed to score third, while a girl named Momo managed to score fourth. Also I lied, no one is getting expelled, said Aizawa. What? Everyone except Momo, Izuku, Bakugo, and half yelled. I lied so you all would do your best, learn to go beyond your limits, that is the meaning of plus ultra. The rest of the day went by with nothing of notice happening. Instead of staying up all night like he normally would, he went to sleep so he could bring back the game stability to 100%. He figured if the game stability went down to 0%, then strange things would start happening like before, not gaining his skills or quests. Maybe sleeping would also give an increase to stat point gain later on. Only time would tell. Line break. When Izuku woke up, he felt like something was different. His head felt much clearer compared to before. He opened up his status screen. Aim stability. 100%. Izuku Midoriya. Level 15, 12.24% exp. Class. Guardian. Title. Student of All Might, plus 3 stats each level. Nickname. Deku. HP 23,835 23,835. MP 3178 3178. SP 27,640 27,640. STR 172. Bit 183. X 163. STM 187. Int 180. Wisconsin 180. Luck 53. Stat points 25. Perks. Mental equilibrium. Int and Wisconsin will always be the same. Guardian. Minus 50% damage taken. Well rested. Plus 25% stat point gain. Flaws. Novice 1 for all user. Using 1 for all at all above the safe percentage will cause damage and broken bones. Looks like I was right. If the game stability reaches 100%, you get a temporary status effect, increasing stat point gain, he thought. He went to his inventory and equipped his uniform. UA High School uniform, male. The uniform given to students to wear. Plus 5 defense. Plus 5 to STR, Dex, Int, and Wisconsin. Izuku poured his mana into the uniform to enchant it once more. UA High School uniform, male. The uniform given to students to wear. Plus 10 defense. Plus 20 to STR, Dex, Int, and Wisconsin. MP 3178 equals 03241. Enchanting level increased by 5. Izuku had woken up earlier than normal so he could do some tests. He walked outside into the backyard where he had used his skill Awaken Mana on blades of grass. He noticed that after doing so the grass had begun to produce mana. He also gained the magic green thumb ability which let him level up the plants. He decided to test how he was going to store the mana for him to use later. He picked up a nearby rock and used to observe it. Rock level 1. An ordinary rock. Max MP 0200. He started pushing mana into the rock. The rock did not store much however, and he reabsorbed the mana. He then used observation on the rock again to see how much it changed. Rock level 1. An ordinary rock. Max MP 0210. Every 20 points of mana that circulates through the rock increases its capacity by 1. He began circulating his mana through the rock for a while almost like a circuit. He used spare mana to level up the grass near him, so they produced more mana. When it came time to leave he kept a small rock with him, so he could continue to circulate magic through it. Rock level 1. An ordinary rock. Max MP 0527. Time skip. Izuku was sitting down in class waiting for the teacher to come into the room to start class. "I am here coming through the door like a normal person," All Might said dramatically as he entered the room. "I will be teaching basic hero training. This course will mold you into heroes through special training. Today's activity will be battle training," yelled All Might. "For that, you will need your costumes." He pointed to the wall behind the students where cases that were labeled from 1 to 19. "Young Midoriya, you didn't actually submit a design for a costume, but that is fine, you have plenty of time to come up with one. Now put on your costumes and meet me in ground beta." After everyone put on their costumes they walked to ground beta, which was the city area that they used in the entrance exams. Izuku switched into his gym clothes and put his rock into his inventory as his gym pockets didn't have pockets. As everyone showed up they began showing off their costumes. "Hey Izuku, why didn't you submit a costume?" asked Iida. "Well, I don't exactly have an idea for a costume yet, this is something that people will see me as, and I need a good costume, but I don't have any ideas. It's also probably bad that most of my inspiration comes from an anime," said Izuku. "Well, don't worry. I'm sure your costume is going to be great. I really should have specified mine better, it ended up as a bodysuit, at least it feels really nice," said Uraraka. Izuku blushed when he saw her. I think you look great, Uraraka." He managed to stutter out. "Heh, looks like you already have a fan round face," said Bakugo. "You're one of the only people I know that can get him to stutter like this after all the training we did." "Wait, what?" she asked. "Alright, today we will be doing indoor battle tactics. We will be drawing lots to determine the heroes and villains. Same teams as canon. Group A versus Group D, the A team will be simulating the heroes. The test will start in 5 minutes. So Izuku, we need a plan, what are your ideas?" asked Uraraka. Izuku thought for a moment that Kaken is going to gun for me immediately and ignore you. He has been wanting to battle me for a while now and that will give you the chance to go inside and take on Iida. But you need something to protect yourself with. Izuku looked around before he found a metal pole. He enchanted it, putting all of his mana into it. Metal pole LV1. A sturdy metal pole that can be used for attacks. Plus 20 to physical stats while wielding this. Izuku handed her the pole. "Here, this should allow you to defend yourself against Iida long enough for me to defeat Kaken." When she held the pole she felt as if she was twice as strong as before. Was this due to Izuku's quirk? What was his quirk anyway? "Hey Izuku, what is your quirk?" she asked. "It would be powerful if you were able to destroy that robot in the entrance exams." "That's complicated, I want to keep it a secret until I am strong enough to defend myself. After all, in this world quirks can allow people to do almost anything, what's to say there isn't one that can steal other quirks?" he said. "A Q quirk that can steal other quirks, I guess that makes sense," she said after thinking about it. Meanwhile with Bakugo and Iida. "Hey Bakugo, you know more about Izuku than anyone, do you know what his quirk is?" asked Iida. "I do, but he wants to keep it a secret. He doesn't want it to get out so that villains don't try to go after him. Listen, when the match starts I'm going to leave, Izuku will follow me so we can fight without setting off the bomb. You will have to face a round face. Think you can do that?" said Bakugo. "Yes, but why are you leaving?" asked Iida before he thought about it. "Your quirks are very powerful and you will likely damage everything here, is that right?" "Yes. I have been wanting to face Izuku for a while now and see just how strong I am against him," said Bakugo. "And begin." Bakugo rushed out the window towards Izuku. He looked at Izuku who only nodded as he took off away from the building. Uraraka used her quirk on herself and jumped up to the floor where Bakugo came out of. She saw Iida and got her metal pole ready. "Wait, is using a weapon even allowed?" yelled Iida. "In order to protect everyone, I will use everything I can to defeat you," she yelled back. She charged at him much faster than she normally was. Iida managed to dodge as they started fighting. He used his engine quirk to try and deliver devastating attacks, but she managed to dodge all of them. Meanwhile, Izuku and Bakugo began fighting as well. Izuku channeled One for All throughout himself, multiplying his stats by 4. He activated his skill Quick Attack and launched 3 shock waves at him in quick succession. Bakugo fired explosions from his hand, launching him away from the shock waves. He then used his thruster's skill and launched towards Izuku to deliver a devastating blow. Not wanting to get hit, Izuku sent 300 points of mana into his energy wave skill and fired it towards Bakugo. He wasn't able to dodge due to his close proximity and got launched to the ground. Izuku launched himself down to the ground with his fist outstretched to deliver a devastating blow, due to One for All, enhancing his stats to such a high level Bakugo was not able to dodge and took the full brunt of the attack, bringing his HP into the red. "Alright, I'm done, I won't be able to fight anymore, one more attack like that and I would have been history," said Bakugo. Even though he was prideful, he knew he couldn't beat Izuku as he was now. "Alright, let me heal you and then I will see how Uraraka is doing." Izuku began healing him and even leveling up his healing spell twice. Meanwhile, Iida was confused. Uraraka did not show this type of power during the entrance exams nor during the quirk test yesterday, so how was she so strong? All she had was a metal pole. Was it the metal pole? Did Izuku do something to it and give it to her? But Iida was distracted in trying to find out how she got this powerful. Uraraka took this chance and hit him in the head with the metal bar, knocking him out. She went over to the bomb and grabbed it. Hero team wins. "Nice job, Uraraka," Izuku said as he walked through the window. "Well, I couldn't have done it if you had not given me this pole, speaking of what you did to it," she asked. "I put some energy into it to give you some bonuses during the fight. I couldn't just leave you there with no way to fight him, right?" "Well, I guess you're right. So then your quirk is enchanting objects?" she asked. "Nope, but it did let me learn it once I got smart enough." He smirked as his quirk remained hidden. The next day, Izuku saw dozens of reporters trying to get into the school to see All Might. "Young man, what's it like to be taught by All Might?" one of the reporters asked Izuku. "Don't you have anything better to do than harass schools? People will get the wrong idea if they see you hounding a school like this," he said. This caused all the reporters to pale and run off. "Finally, I didn't think they would ever leave." "What did you say to them?" asked Izawa. "I asked if they had anything better to do than harass schools and that people would get the wrong idea if they were to report anything. Basically, I accused them of trying to assault underage children," said Izuku with a small mischievous smile. Izawa smiled while President Mick burst out laughing at this. "Class 1A. Alright everyone, today, you are going to be choosing a class rep," said Izawa. "It's a normal school activity," everyone thought. Almost half of the students decided they wanted to be class rep before Iida called for a vote. By the end of the voting, Izuku had gotten 4 votes and, surprisingly, Uraraka had gotten 3. Just one above Momo and barely getting the position of vice class rep. "Wait, what?" they both shouted. Bakugo laughed as he knew people were going to vote for Izuku, so he voted for. Yes, in this story, even Bakugo is shipping the two. Iida, Momo, Todoroki, and Uraraka had voted for Izuku, while Bakugo, Tsu, and surprisingly Kaminari, voted for Uraraka. Both of them were surprised at this, even more so was Uraraka. She had never done anything like this before and she didn't know what to do. Surprisingly, everyone believed that Izuku's quick and smart thinking would help make plans for everyone in dire situations, while Uraraka would help cheer everyone up with her upbeat personality. Due to what Izuku said to the reporters, when the wall was destroyed, no one came in, meaning no alarms were set off. The next day everyone was on the bus to the USJ. "Hey Izuku, you never told us what your quirk is, so could you please tell us?" asked Kaminari. Izuku sighed, since he was the class rep everyone was putting their trust into him, so he would need to tell them. "My quirk allows me to live my life like a video game. I got my quirk 10 months ago and I have been training with it ever since. I had Bakugo join my party to help him get rid of his short temper. We picked up the trash at the beach nearby and cleared it out, increasing our stars. Bakugo's quirk even evolved a little bit, allowing him to launch explosions at range instead of point blank." Everyone was shocked at this. Izuku's quirk helped Bakugo's quirk evolve, then just what could it do for them? "Is it possible for you to train us?" asked Denki Kaminari. "Well, I guess so, but I don't want to overwork my quirk too much. Having Kakin in my party helped decrease the game's stability and I didn't get some of the skills that I should have gotten." I had thought that due to the gamer's mind I wouldn't need to sleep, but that turned out to be incorrect. If I had stayed up for too much longer then something bad would have happened, I don't know what, but it sounded really bad. Oh, so how many people do you think you could add to your party? Asked Sue. I think I would like to have around 7 people in my party, including myself and Kakin. In fact it made me think about putting together the 7 deadly sins. He said. The 7 deadly sins? You mean from the Bible? Asked Jiro. Well not really, I'm talking about the 7 deadly sins. The leader of the sins is the sin of wrath Meliodas, the dragon sin, in the anime, each of them have something corresponding to their sin. Such as, when Meliodas' girlfriend was killed, he lost control and destroyed an entire kingdom in a single blast. That's why he is called the sin of wrath. One sin can be their greatest strength, but also their greatest weakness. If I were to do this Bakugo would obviously be the lion's sin of pride. I still need to find out who to get for all the other sins though. He explained. Ding. Quest obtained. Objective. After telling your friends about your power you wish to put together a team of 7 people, this team shall be called the 7 deadly sins. Quest completion. 1 mil exp, lost vein, an epic team to get through anything. Quest failure. 10,000 exp, enemies are harder to defeat. Oh, I just got a quest wanting me to put together the team. I will start working on that after we get back. Said Izuku. At the USJ. Welcome to the USJ. This place is used for rescue training simulations. Said a man in what looked like a spacesuit. It's the Space Hero 13. Said Uraraka, recognizing him. Where is All Might? Wasn't he supposed to meet us here? Asked Izawa. All Might had overworked himself today during his morning commute. Said 13 holding up 3 fingers. Suddenly a black and purple mist appeared in the center of the USJ before someone stepped through. He had white hair, red eyes, and hands all across himself. 13, protect the students. Yelled Izawa. Is this part of the exercise? Asked Kirishima. No, those are villains said Izawa. The form emerged covered in black and purple mist. Eraserhead, 13, where is All Might? He was supposed to be here today. Izuku whispered to Kaminari to send for help. Kaminari whispered back I can't block the signal. Izuku looked at Lita and whispered to him, Iida, run as fast as you can to the school to get help. Izuku tapped Iida's costume and enchanted it. Iida's hero costume. Made from dense fibers and alloys for defense and max mobility. Base stats. Plus 10 defense, plus 10 dex. Enchantment. Plus 20 dex and STM. I enchanted your costume to enhance your dexterity and stamina, you should be able to get there quickly, now go Izuku whispered. Iida nodded and ran off. I wonder if some dead kids will bring All Might out said the mist man. 13, evacuate the facility and send for help. Yelled Izawa. Don't worry, I already sent Iida to get help, we need to focus on taking down as many villains as we can. Said Izuku. He grabbed Izawa's hand and used his healing spell on him, curing his insomnia and his sleep deprivation. There, now you can fight at your strongest. You never cease to surprise me kid. Said Izawa. He charged down the stairs and started taking on as many villains as possible. 13 and the students ran but were blocked by the mist man. Forgive our intrusion, we were under the impression that All Might would be here today, no matter, my role has not changed. Itsuki and Kaminari charged at the villain, hitting him simultaneously. However this did not have the desired result as he reformed showing a metal collar and a suit beneath the mist. That was close, though you may be students, you are still the best of the best. Bet back you too. Yelled 13. I shall send you to where my comrades are. The mist expanded, warping people away. 13 began using his quirk to start sucking in the mist, however another warp gate appeared behind 13, causing large damage to him. He then warped away back to the portal. But Izuku fell through the air and onto a boat along with Tsu and Mineta. He looked over the edge and saw villains swimming towards them to attack them. He looked back at Tsu and Mineta. We are all going to die. Yelled Mineta. Relax, we are not going to die, I have a plan to get us out of here. Said Izuku. But didn't you hear them? They were planning to kill All Might. Just how are we going to survive? Yelled Mineta. Izuku bonked him on his head to calm him down. I said I have a plan. Said Izuku. Bing. Quest obtained. Objective. Survive until All Might arrives. Bonus objective. Beat all the villains before All Might arrives. Bonus objective. Beat before All Might arrives. Quest completion. 100,000 exp, no one dies. Bonus reward 1. Plus 100,000, exp plus 10. Bonus reward 2. 1 mil exp plus 100 everyone thinks of you as a hero. Quest failure. 100 exp, several students die, the survivors lose respect for you. Quest is mandatory. Alright, what's your plan? Asked Sue. Izuku jumped off the boat and dove into the water. The villains started swimming towards him, causing him to smirk. He activated One for All, causing electricity to spark off of him. It isn't enough, Izuku thought. He stopped using the power limiter, causing more electricity to spark off of him. The villains were electrocuted by this energy and Izuku turned it off, already getting tired. He jumped out of the water onto land where Tsu and Mineta now were. While Izuku was in the water distracting the villains, Tsu grabbed Mineta and jumped before swimming to shore. They managed to make it out before Izuku shocked everyone. Ding. Our limiter has leveled up twice. Izuku smiled before looking for the other villains. He saw Izawa fighting what could only be described as a monster. Nomu. Level 150. Class. None. Title. None. HP 5 mil 5 mil. MP. Locked. SP 9.7 mil 10 mil. STR. DIT. Dex. STM. Int 1. Wisconsin 1. Luck 0. Quirks. Super speed, super strength, super regeneration, shock absorption. That's what they are going to use to kill All Might. Izuku said. We need to help him somehow. He immediately began putting all the magic he could into his hero's shield. Large explosions erupted from one zone, while another zone was destroyed by ice. Izuku smiled knowing just who did those two things. I'm going to go get some help, go find a place to hide, now. Izuku whispers to Tsu and Mineta. They nod and start running off. Izuku turns and launches off the ground toward Bakugo, who just so happened to be flying towards him as well. Izuku. What the fuck is going on? Asked Bakugo. Bakugo, I need you to go and help the other students, then bring them to where Izawa is. We are going to do the old you know what. Said Izuku. Bakugo's eyes widened at this before smirking. He took off towards the rocky hills, while Izuku took off towards the towns. Todoroki had already frozen over one part, so he just needed to save everyone here first. He saw Koda and Tokoyami battling some villains, and Izuku fired a charged mana blast at the villains before calling out to them. Go to the center of the USJ, Izawa needs help. Tokoyami, use your quirk to climb the buildings and to get over there quickly. Izuku yelled. He flew off and saw Mashiro, the last person he was looking for. Mashiro used his tail and knocked a villain away before seeing Izuku. Mashiro, grab onto me, I am going to fly us to help Izawa, everyone else is going there and we need everyone's help. Alright. Just what the heck is over there anyway? Asked Mashiro. I believe it is an artificial creation called a Nomu, it has 4 quirks and was designed to beat All Might, we can't let that happen. Said Izuku. When they arrived everyone else had gathered and helped defeat some of the remaining villains. Alright everyone, we need everyone's help with this one. I will distract it and those with emitter quirks need to fire everything they have at me, everyone else, stop any villains that try to stop us. Wait, what about you? Several people questioned. I am going to use the technique I used in the entrance exam. It allows me to store up damage I take and send it all in one powerful attack, called the revenge counter. And don't worry, I have a healing spell, and I have been putting all my magic into my shield every hour since the entrance exams. Izuku checked his current defense points. Defense points equals 4,223,096. I have over 4 million defense points and only 5 million horsepower. I believe that this is enough to beat this thing. But I can only do it with your help. Said Izuku. Everyone looked down at this before looking back up with determination in their eyes. Izuku nodded and ran off to Nomu. He activated One for All with a power limiter in place, multiplying his STR and Dex by 8. He punched with all his strength at but it didn't even budge. Izuku then used damage transfer to transfer most of his HP to Izawa, who was dangerously low, before throwing him to the others. Your fight is with me now. He yelled at the monster. Shigaraki sighed at this, let's get this over with, Nomu. Kill him and then kill the others. Nomu raised his fist and punched Izuku, who guarded and planted his feet into the ground. Minus 100,000 defense points. Izuku was wide-eyed at this but didn't let his focus waver. He jumped onto and put it into a headlock so it couldn't move. Now. Izuku yelled. Aoyama fired his naval laser at Mina threw as much acid as she could at it and Bakugo fired explosion after explosion at it. Minus 30,000 defense points. Damn, they can really hit hard when they all work together. Jiro used her quirk and launched very loud sound waves at them, making both their ears bleed. Todoroki made large ice spears, while Uraraka used her zero gravity on them, allowing for them to move faster. Sato ate a small thing of sugar, increasing his strength greatly. He picked up the ice spears and threw them as hard as he could at them. You have been impaled by ice spears. Minus 500,000 defense points. Holy shit, that hurts like hell. Izuku thought. They managed to break out of Izuku's hold and ran to attack the students. Izuku however moved faster and launched himself at the Nomu's spine, launching them both past the other students. "I told you, your fight is with me." Shigaraki and Kurogiri fled through a portal as Izawa got back up. "What's going on? Just what did I miss?" asked Izawa. "Izuku started fighting by himself, he is putting himself in harm's way just to protect us," said Uraraka. Izawa looked at Izuku fighting them. Izuku was being attacked and thrown around like it was nothing. Defense points. 2,733,175. The three Izuku went back to the students who looked on with worried faces. Bakugo, however, smirked. "Hey, don't you think that is enough?" said Bakugo. Izuku got up and looked at his counterpoints before smirking. Counterpoints. 7,449,605. Yeah. The large wide aura that reached the ceiling burst to life around him. All Might had finally arrived and saw the aura around Izuku and smirked. The other students looked wide-eyed at this. "This power, it is everything we threw at him, but how? How are you still standing?" everyone thought. Izuku walked towards and activated One for All without his limiter on. He felt the power burning through his body, but he kept going. Revenge counter Izuku swung his fist releasing a bright light that blinded everyone. When the light settled everyone looked on at the devastation that had come from that attack. There was a large crater in the ground and there was nowhere in sight. Everyone looked at Izuku. The bones in his arm had shattered, there were scorch marks on his body, he fell back as the adrenaline wore off and he passed out from all the pain. Meanwhile All Might was smiling. His student had this much power at his age, it was unfathomable, he could only imagine how far his student would go. Time skipped 3 days. Izuku woke up in a hospital bed with his arm in a cast. He looked around and saw Uraraka sleeping next to him on a couple of chairs she had pulled up. He smiled at this and suddenly a bunch of windows popped up in front of him. Quest completed. Survive until All Might arrives. Completion bonus. 100,000 exp. Bonus quest reward. Plus 100,000 x plus 10 demon MP. Bonus reward 2. 1 mil x plus 100 demon MP, everyone thinks of you as a hero. You have leveled up 40 times. You have gained demon MP. Demon MP is a highly compressed form of magic, having this type of magic grants you access to a demon form and other bonuses. Due to gaining highly condensed magic you have gained the skill Mana Condensing. Mana Condensing, active, LV max. 9 MP equals 1, condensed MP. 9 condensed MP equals 1 draconic MP. 9 draconic MP equals 1 heavenly MP. 9 heavenly MP equals 1 demon MP. Due to an update in the game, Hero's Shield has been nerfed. Hero's Shield, active, LV max. A shield that is always on, pouring MP into this gives extra defense for any case. 1 MP equals 1 defense point. Due to your high level, the title Student of All Might has been removed. Izuku looked at these things in shock before he felt immense pain go through him due to all his stats increasing at once. After the pain subsided he opened his stat screen to see just how much his stats increased. Aim stability. 0%. Izuku Midoriya. Level 55, 12.24% exp. Class. Guardian. Title. 9th holder of One for All, plus 2 to all physical stats each level. Nickname. Deku. HP 35,835 35,835, regen 30.3% per minute equals 10,858 HP per minute. MP 4378 4378, regen 30% per minute equals 1313 MP per minute. SP 39,640 39,640, regen 30.7% per minute equals 12,169 SP per minute. The MP 110 110. STR 292. Bit 303. X 293. STM 307. N 300. Wisconsin 300. Luck 173. Stat points 225. Perks. Mental equilibrium. Int and Wisconsin will always be the same, Guardian. Minus 50% damage taken. Flaws. Broken and strained body. Minus 75% to all physical stats until healed, adept One for All user. Using One for All above a safe percentage will cause damage and break your bones. Due to you overloading the game, we need time to reset. Don't do anything stupid until the reboot is complete. Izuku looked on in shock. He had more than 225 bonus points stored up. And not only that, but his other stats were almost to 300. He did sadly have a new flaw, but that was okay, he just needed to heal up. He nudged Uraraka with his good hand to wake her up. Hey, wake up. Uraraka slowly opened her eyes and saw that Izuku was the one shaking her awake. "Izuku, you're awake." She hugged him as hard as she could. "Of course I am, I'm not just going to die before I achieve my dream of becoming the #1 hero," said Izuku. "I'm glad that you cared enough though to sleep in this room and watch over me," he said. Her entire face went red as he said this and she tried to stutter out some form of denial as she shook her hands everywhere. "Anyway, beating Nomu leveled me up about 40 times. All my stats are now almost at 300, Izuku said excitedly. "Wait, what, really? Why?" asked Uraraka. "Well, I had a title at the time that increased all my stats by 3 every level, but after all those levels it was taken away," said Izuku nervously. She noticed this and looked strangely at him. "And? What was the title?" she asked. Izuku sighed before looking back at her. "Student of All Might. He had been training me to be his successor and even gave me his quirk. What he is using now is just the embers remaining of his quirk. Please don't tell anyone about this, okay?" "Alright, I understand, and since we are sharing secrets I want to tell you something as well." "Really? What is that?" "The reason I want to become a hero is money, so then I can help take care of my parents. They work all day long and I just want to help them. They never get to go on vacation," she said. "I know it may seem pretty selfish, wanting to be a hero for money and all. Actually, this is perfect," Izuku said standing up. "Eh?" She looked confused. "Looks like I found the sin of greed." Izuku smiles cheekily. "Wait, what?" She was completely confused now. "Remember? On the bus to the USJ I said I wanted to put together a team of powerful heroes. They don't have to be powerful at the start, rather they need to embody their sin," Izuku explained. "You wanted to be a hero for money and that would be greed, doesn't matter who it's for. That doesn't mean that it's bad though, it's great that you're thinking about your family. But how would you like to join me? My gamer ability will extend to you and the other people on the team. I will help train you and make you stronger. So I must ask you, will you join me?" She looked at Izuku for a moment before a screen opened up in front of her. "You have been asked by Izuku to join the party 7 Deadly Sins. Do you wish to join?" "Why?" She tapped the yes button and looked at Izuku with determination in her eyes. "Yes, I will." Izuku smiled. Before he could do anything else, several of his classmates barged into the room. "Dude, you're finally awake. It was amazing what you did. How did you do it?" asked Kirishima. "I must say that power of yours is very flashy and powerful, more so than any I have ever seen," said Yuga, guy with laser navel that is obsessed with flashy stuff if you don't know. "How were you able to heal from being impaled?" asked Todoroki. "Well, my shield isn't technically a shield, rather, one could think of it as extra health. And any damage to my body heals, as long as I have HP. The reason I am like this right now is because I overloaded my quirk. And just now it nerfed my hero's shield, so I won't be able to fight anything like that for a while," explained Izuku. "Seriously man, I thought you were crazy taking all those attacks on by yourself, don't ever do that again, okay? Not even my hardening quirk would be able to handle all that," said Kirishima. "Yeah, since my quirk was overloaded by all that. It is going on a reboot. It won't function for at least a day. Besides, this has only given me incentive to train harder in case something like this happens again," said Izuku. "At least your quirk knows its limits," said Tsu. "Yeah, I guess," said Izuku. "Yeah, after all, you don't seem to know yours, even though the game outright tells you what your limits are," said Bakugo. "That's what plus ultra means. To go beyond one's limits," said Izuku. "Yeah, well, if you continue at this rate you're going to kill yourself," said Bakugo. "Bakugo is right, Izuku, you need to take it easy, at least until you recover," said Ida as he waved his arms around like always. "Yeah, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Despite my gamer quirk fixing me up, I still hurt all over due to leveling so many times in just a couple of seconds," said Izuku. "Now if you will excuse me, my game stability is at 0%, meaning it is beginning to become unstable, I need to sleep." Everyone nodded and left, leaving him to rest and get better. The end. Thanks for watching my video and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, link is in the description. See you next time, till then sayonara.